As a beginner investor in 2025, investing in ETFs is one of the best ways to start. And if I could start from scratch, I would start with ETFs. In this video, we are going to be talking about what ETFs are, different types to get, how to choose and buy them, and a whole lot more. So let's get started. ETFs, or exchange-traded funds, are a type of investment fund that holds a basket of securities. These securities are just another way to refer to assets like stocks, bonds, or commodities. When you buy an ETF, you are purchasing a small piece of all the assets within it, which provides instant diversification. Unlike mutual funds, you can trade ETFs on the stock exchange, just like individual stocks, which makes them highly flexible. Think of an ETF like a fruit salad. Each type of fruit represents a different asset. For example, you could have a stock ETF with different types of stocks in it. If one stock does poorly, the others will cover for it. Just as a fruit salad combines various fruits to create a delicious and nutritious dish, an ETF brings together different assets to create a well-rounded investment. So why are ETFs great for beginners? ETFs are popular with beginners for a few key reasons. First, they offer instant diversification, so you don't have to pick individual stocks or bonds. They're generally low cost as most ETFs have low fees compared to actively managed funds. And lastly, they're easy to buy and sell, making them a hassle-free choice for those new to the market. And don't think just because they are easy or beginner-friendly they don't offer great returns. It's quite the opposite. There's a statistic that 85% of fund managers can't beat the S&P 500, which you can buy as an ETF. Think about that for a second. A fund manager with years of experience and training can't beat a novice like yourself who just nonchalantly puts money into an ETF every month. That's really crazy to think about. So what types of ETFs should you consider? In 2025, there are thousands of ETFs to choose from, but here are a few main types to consider. You've got index funds, sector ETFs, bond ETFs, and thematic ETFs. Let's start with index ETFs. These track a specific market index like the S&P 500 and are a solid choice for hands-off long-term investing. Next, sector ETFs. So if you want to invest in a specific sector like technology or healthcare, sector ETFs make it easy. Next, bond ETFs. These invest in bonds and are great if you are looking for more stability. And lastly, we have thematic ETFs. These focus on specific themes like clean energy or tech, which can be exciting if you want to support certain trends. How to choose the right ETF. Here's a quick checklist. First up, look at the expense ratio. Lower is better. Aim for ETFs with an expense ratio below 0.5%. Next, look at the performance history. Check the track record, but also keep in mind that past performance isn't a guarantee for future results. Next, look at the holdings. Look at what the ETF is made up of and ensure that it aligns with your goals. Do you want stocks that are more aggressive or a safer play with bonds? Next up, look at dividends. If you're looking for income, dividend-paying ETFs could be a good option. And here's a bonus tip. Look to diversify your ETFs. Another trick that you can use is to further diversify by buying multiple ETFs. An example would be to buy an American ETF and a British ETF. This way, if some crisis hits either country, your other ETF will cover for you. So, how do you actually buy ETFs? Buying ETFs is easier than ever. First, you'll need a brokerage account. Platforms like Vanguard, Fidelity, and Robinhood are popular options, but you can look in your country for options as well. Once you're set up, search for the ticker symbol of the ETF you're interested in. Enter how much you want to invest and hit buy. It's really that simple. Here are the best ETFs to look at for 2025. In 2025, there are several standout ETFs that investors should consider for their portfolios. Here are a few to keep an eye on. First up, the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, ticker symbol VOO. This ETF tracks the performance of the S&P 500, offering exposures to 500 of the largest U.S. companies. It's a solid choice for those seeking broad market exposure with low fees. Next up, you can look at the iShares Core MSCI Emerging Markets ETF, ticker symbol IEMG. For investors looking to diversify internationally, this ETF provides exposure to small, mid, and large-cap companies in emerging markets, which may offer growth potential as these economies develop. Next up, the Invesco QQQ ETF. This ETF tracks the Nasdaq 100 index, focusing on tech and growth-oriented companies. It's ideal for those who believe in the continued expansion of technology and innovation. You can also look at the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF, ticker symbol VTI, covering the entire U.S. stock market. This ETF includes large, mid, small, and even microcap stocks. It's a great option for investors wanting comprehensive exposure to the U.S. equity market. You can also look at the ARK Innovation ETF, ticker symbol ARKK. For those interested in disruptive innovation, ARK focuses on companies involved in innovative technologies across sectors like automation and fintech. It's suitable for investors willing to take on higher risk for potential high rewards. And lastly, you can look at iShares U.S. Treasury Bond ETF, ticker symbol GOVT. For a more conservative option, this ETF provides exposure to U.S. Treasury bonds, making it a good choice for risk-averse investors looking for stability and income. Here's a quick disclaimer. While ETFs offer diversification and ease of access, they still carry a risk within. Market fluctuations, economic changes, and sector-specific volatility can all affect ETF performances. Additionally, certain ETFs like those focused on emerging markets or innovation can be more volatile than broad market ETFs. Always consider your investment goals before investing or making any decisions. And also consult with a financial advisor before investing. So there you go. That's basically all you need. And I have just given you a great tool for life. So in return, I ask that you subscribe and support this channel. It really means a lot to me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.